So, there are two ways to manage a toxic narcissist during the holidays. I'll go over both here. So, when the narcissist turns your holidays upside down, as you know, being in a relationship with the narcissist, you may be finding yourself isolated and alone and away from friends and family. But holiday events once a year or family gatherings might be a good time to reconnect. So let's say you're at an event. I'll give you a scenario. The narcissist starts their toxic habits up, and one thing you could do is simply brutally expose them. Now, they'll start texting you during the Christmas party, etc., or they might whisper something nasty to you. That's because on some level they know it's disgusting behavior, right? So they might say something along the lines of, that dress makes you look bigger than it should, right? And you'll read that message and you'll be upset and your whole evening could be destroyed, right? So in this scenario, if they whisper it to you or text it to you, you could simply say, can you repeat that in front of my cousin Sally or whoever, and make them repeat it to you in front of them, because that's why you're upset, and it makes sense why your makeup might be running down your face or your hair is frazzled. This might be a way to prevent the whole thing. So simply ask them to repeat it in front of someone. Repeat back what they texted or said in front of at least one other person. You see, most normal people realize that this is not great behavior, obviously. And most normal people are not toxic, and they will not stand for this, and especially during the holidays. Narcissism in itself is pretty rare. However, the numbers and true hard stats are all over the place. 1 in 6 people have it, to over 50%. I just don't think it's as common as people make it out to be. However, most normal people will help you out in this type of situation anyway, if at the very least to be nosy in some ways. So this is going to embarrass the narcissist and right off the bat shame them, humiliate them for their toxic behaviors, while holiday is supposed to be a time for joy and peace and harmony, right? But this will end up being an embarrassing time for the narcissist. They'll feel shame and they'll want to hide, and they might storm off and leave you there. I mean, obviously, if you're at home, they might run into the bedroom and slam the door, throwing a hissy fit like a 6-year-old child. This is pretty common, actually. And then, obviously, they're the ones that are going to look like the complete and utter toxic idiot that they are. But now at least one other person knows. And now you have some options. You could take an Uber home, or if you're at home, you could just continue partying while they're in the bedroom angry. Obviously, if they start texting you nasty messages, just show other people, and you can dig into that and degrade them and humiliate them and embarrass them. So I don't want to veer too off course, but something similar was done to me years back with my ex-wife, and it was completely, utterly embarrassing. She had showed her mom a text message that I sent her that was pretty nasty, and I was so embarrassed, but I just tried to be on my best behavior to counter it, I guess. And then obviously when they left, I brought it up to my ex-wife. You know, that's why she's my ex-wife, right? It just didn't work. I was toxic. But if you're doing this, I mean, you know, you have options. You could dismiss their baby behavior. You could show them that you don't need them anymore and you're an independent person. This is the exact opposite of them. Take an Uber home, ignore them, carry on, be independent, right? So not only are you exposing them, you're proving to them that you don't really need them. But don't underestimate them and proceed with caution. This might escalate the abuse. So just be forewarned. Most people do things to break the patterns, and with the narcissist, that might escalate the abuse. So just be well prepared. If you have to get the authorities involved, at the very least, you might have to. Again, I'll back up a little. When I was a kid, I don't want to veer too far off here, but I know there were several holidays that were ruined. At the end of the fighting and drama, somebody always ended up getting arrested or running from the police. I had many holidays ruined as a child. My mother was probably a malignant narcissist. My sisters were at the very least toxic. I had a obvious narcissistic brother, the communal kind. So it just wasn't a great childhood with holidays and all that. But at the end of the day, the narcissists, they don't care about anything as long as they can ruin things for you. If they have to take an arrest, fine, it ruins the holidays. That's the goal, right? So when you're trying to enjoy the holidays, they just simply want to ruin them. You could just show the messages, the texts to other people, talk about the abuse you're suffering through to other people. You see, a narcissist likes to keep everything private. They like to isolate you away from your friends and families and maybe coworkers. That's because it's embarrassing and shameful behavior, and on some level they know it's wrong. But they can maybe put on an act around your friends and family. But if you expose them, this puts them in their place and throws them off balance. I will add, anything that's outside their patterns that they try to run is going to upset them and make them very angry. When you don't follow the rigid patterns and regulations and rules, this upsets a narcissist. You just have to remember, no matter what you say, no matter what you do, each and every day they're just going to try to upset you. And because of that, gray rock, all that may not work with a husband. That doesn't always work because they're going to find something that sets you off. If they have to send you 50 insults, one of them's going to break through. So here instead, turn the whole thing around and shame them publicly and brutally expose them. Now, this might also protect you against the smear campaign in the future if the relationship ends. Because here at least you have some proof. Hey, look what he said. Here's some text messages. They're being nasty. Whatever. Prepare ahead of time and know when you get home or when the party's over, you're going to have to deal with them. And unfortunately, it's not going to be good. So exposure, be forewarned, it's a horrible thing to a narcissist. This could escalate. And they are very dangerous. You have to be very cautious. Proceed with caution. Please proceed with caution. That's my advice. You must prepare for the worst. They can get violent, believe me. But what choice do you really have? Every holiday is going to be ruined. 364 days of your life is going to be ruined, and you can't even enjoy one single day for yourself. Be it a birthday or whatever. You can't have one single day to enjoy? Think about it. Either way, they're going to be upset. And either way, the holidays are going to get ruined. This leads to my last example and how this proven method is 100% effective to make sure you enjoy the holidays with the narcissist. And that is, you enjoy the holidays without the narcissist. I gave you a good way to get revenge on the narcissist. However, you can expect backlash and blowout from that. As you can see where I might be going, you cannot win against a narcissist because you are not a narcissist. You might be an empath. You might be a chosen one. You're a loving, kind person. You're on here to hopefully manage peace and hopefully manage a simple holiday once a year. And their goal is to not have you have happiness, not even one day a year. Now, once you expose them, this could lead you down the road to the end of the relationship. Keep that in mind. Now, the only surefire way to enjoy the holidays is to end things with them. You must end things. This is the only way to enjoy the holidays. Get rid of the narcissist. See, it may be impossible forever, for you to ever stoop to that level. And you don't want to keep exposing them and fighting with them. But once you're on a path of healing and you see how pathetic and sinister they really are, how fragile their ego really is, you're going to look at them in pity. They'll be nothing more than a fake boogeyman, a figment of your imagination that you made out to be worse than what they really are. Because the whole time you were hiding in the dark, afraid of the boogeyman, all you had to do was get up and confront the boogeyman the whole time. And what happened when you confronted the boogeyman? There was nothing in the closet. There was nothing under your bed. There's nothing there. Much like a narcissist, they were never real. Once the mask fell off and you realized what they were, the abuse started slowly but surely. You came to realize the narcissist was never real. The person you loved, the person you thought they were never really there. Because the narcissist became the boogeyman just to torture you. And once you move to the light and look around, you realize there was nothing ever to be afraid of to begin with.